Reports of 42 person were on you. I never won. Try lose you, try them up on me. Well,
can we stop pretending? Another Christmas market turned into a killing field. 5 people dead, over 200 injured in Germany. Again, a Saudi doctor living in Germany for years decided to ram his car into a crowd of families, kids, and grandparents celebrating Christmas. Why? They say the motive is unknown. Really? You're still buying that excuse? And don't worry, they arrested him. Great job. But what about the victims? What about the next attack? Because let's be real. This is not just a one-off. Berlin 2016, Paris 2020, now Magdeburg 2023. How many more? How many more Christmas markets have to end in bloodshed before Europe gets serious about protecting its citizens? Not another thoughts and prayers speech. Enough is enough. Europe needs to wake up.
Dieses Video soll die furchtbaren Momente zeigen. Ein Auto rast mit hoher Geschwindigkeit in den Magdeburger Weihnachtsmarkt. Der Fahrer steuert direkt in die Menschenmenge und fährt immer weiter.
Saudi Arabia had repeatedly warned Germany authorities about the suspect who is accused of driving through the German Christmas market. Now, it's being reported that these warnings were given multiple times since the suspect had left Saudi Arabia back in 2006. However, a risk assessment that they conducted last year by the German state and federal criminal investigators concluded that the man had posed no specific danger. Police in Saxony-Anhalt carried out appropriate investigations, it's being said, but they are going to examine whether or not they let anything slip. And I can see the point here. Like, he may have had some, extreme views, but with those views probably didn't appear to be a specific threat, hence why they didn't actually act on anything. A lot of people walk around with specific views, and you don't arrest every single person for every single view that they hold, and some people will post stuff on social media, but it's just not enough to actually warrant them being arrested and charged with any offences. However, there were concerns, but they still gave him asylum in Germany. A full investigation is underway. Now, this guy didn't meet the normal check boxes for somebody that was carrying out a terrorist attack, so they haven't yet named it as a terrorist attack. He was 50 years old, he was a doctor, and he was from Saudi Arabia, and he was anti-Islam. This guy doesn't meet the normal threshold for a terror attack because he has his own ideologies here. He is anti-Islam. He was working on his own. However, I'm pretty sure because of his ideologies and the act that he carried out, at some point this will probably be labelled as a lone wolf terror attack, but obviously for this guy's own purposes and beliefs. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments section, guys. Do you class this as a terror attack? I would class this as a terror attack. We're calling this the attack on the Christmas market, and he aimed to, behave in a way that frightened people. Now, obviously, his motives seem really off balance because in one sense, because when he moved here, he was supposed to be helping women flee from Saudi Arabia, and yet he's anti-Islam, but he went through a predominantly Christian holiday Christmas market and full of women and children. Obviously, men were there as well. And so in one sense, he wants to help people escape Saudi Arabia. But on the other hand, he then did what he did. Do make sure you hit follow for updates and make sure you are subbed to my YouTube channel, After Dark Coffee and Crime. Bye, guys.
2 people have sadly been killed after a car was driven at speed at over 1,000 feet straight through a Christmas market. Let me explain. So over the past few minutes, we've got a lot more information about this incident. At the Christmas markets in Magdeburg near Berlin, a crowd was driven through a crowd of people and they're now treating it as an attack. Authorities are saying that this wasn't an accident and this guy actually intentionally drove through this crowd, obviously to try and cause as much damage as possible. Seen varied reports about injuries because obviously 2 people have passed away. Between 60 and 80 people have also been injured. The most recurring number I'm seeing is 68 people. 15 of those people are seriously injured. Apparently those 15 people are now in serious condition, so hopefully those people manage to pull through. Now the person responsible for this, obviously their name hasn't been released yet. The only information we have about him is that he's from Saudi Arabia and he's a doctor. He's most likely in his 50s and he came to Germany in 2006, so he's actually been living there for quite a while. The German Chancellor Olaf Scholz will be visiting Magdeburg tomorrow. For now, he's stated that his thoughts are with everybody involved in that situation. This will go down as one of Germany's most tragic events in recent history. My thoughts and prayers are with all the victims at this time.
Furious German protesters take to the streets to demand mass deportations as anger at Angela Merkel's, fucking hell I said that without stuttering, open doors immigration policy rises in aftermath of Christmas market attack by Saudi doctor who killed 5 people, including 9-year-old boy. Now, I think you can actually get up a statement from Angela after she left office, and she basically said, yeah, that policy I did, that wasn't the best for Germany. Now, there's actual footage as well out there of the arrest, and for people saying and peddling this stuff, you know, he was this, he was that. Well, when he was getting arrested, he seemed to really believe in God, and he wasn't saying it in the German language either. He was very patriotic about that kind of thing. So that's strange, and also, as I've always said, German Christian Christmas market, and you have people being like, when was the Christmas market Christian? Are you all right? So yeah, and as I said as well, because that whole election thing's coming up in like 2 weeks, people saying this is planned, this is okay, give it a rest. I think you are going to see after this kind of thing though, you're going to see a change in Germany, because it looked like it was a tipping point already, and now it's like fully, I think this is, I mean, it's right there.
I'll try and keep this sweet. I hope you can hear me because there's a fucking storm, and I warn you, there's a lot of swearing in this one. I'm fucking furious. We saw, if you've seen the news, you'll see that several people have died, up to 200 injured in a Christmas fair in Germany. They said at first that the usual thing, we're not sure that it's terrorist related, blah, 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 which usually means it is, most of the time. And then they come out and say he was from Saudi Arabia, okay? He was a doctor in Germany, okay? So, next thing was, he's an Islamophobe. He's got very Islamophobic connections. What the fuck are you on about? He's from Saudi Arabia and he targeted a Christmas fair. He must be the worst fucking Islamophobe on the planet. You know, that's like being a Nazi and marrying a black person, or being a Nazi and marrying a Jewish person. He's an Islamophobe, but he targeted a Christmas fair because we know Christmas fairs are just full of, you know, Muslim people. Of course they are. Duh. No, if he was an Islamophobe, he would have done what that guy in Finsbury Park did years ago and tried to, you know, run over people outside a mosque. He was an Islamophobe. Now, I might eat my words, maybe he was, and then I'll do another video, you know, we're all human. But give me a fucking break with this nonsense, okay? Not all Muslims are terrorists, we know that. But it is a religion which, for some reason, and this is a whole new debate, and it's because of perhaps it needs, like the Bible, reformation, it needs updating, let's say. But that's a different subject. But to turn around and say that it's not, it's Islamophobic and it's nothing basically to do with Islam is absolute bullshit. You should have just gone down the mental health route and said, oh, there's a guy with some issues. And people go, oh, okay, well, you know, post-COVID, a lot of people have mental issues, of course. And also, we've got to stop this Islamophobic word. If people are afraid of a religion, which is a perfectly understandable thing, there's probably people that are afraid of Christianity, Buddhism, Sikhism, Islam. So phobia means a fear of a rational fear of something. So thalassophobia, you're afraid of the water. If you're afraid of Islam, so be it. Because perhaps you're extreme Christian and you don't like everything Islam stands for, and vice versa. So to have a phobia of Islam is perfectly understandable, I guess, especially when you see that most terrorist attacks in Europe seem to happen from this particular community. This doesn't mean that I encourage hate towards that community, of course not, but people start fucking addressing it. Okay, in Cyprus where I live, we don't have terrorist attacks, but I'll tell you what we did have. They uncovered a terrorist attack from Syrians against Jewish and Christians in Cyprus. This is Cyprus. People don't do anything like that, and suddenly it's become a thing. So stop with it. He was an Islamophobic to cover up your things. He was Saudi Arabian. He was probably become radicalised because of the internet. Something happened in his personal life which made him become a prick. And he decided, I want to go and do a terror attack. So he went to a Christmas fair. He must be the worst Islamophobe ever. Ever. Because, Christmas fairs are not full of Christians. Of course not. No. And children. Of course not. No. Give me a break. It was either mental issues or it was a terror attack because he doesn't like Christianity or the West. Simple as. We're used to it now. Fuck's sake.
The 9-year-old boy that was killed in the Christmas market attack has been named as Andre Gleisner. Andre is one of 5 people that has died as a result of this attack on the Christmas market, and at least 200 other people have been injured, and one of the injured is said to be a 5-year-old child. His mum had made a post on Facebook and it said, "Let my little teddy bear fly around the world again." Andre didn't do anything to anyone. He was only with us on Earth for 9 years. Why you? Why? I don't understand. Now you are with Grandma and Grandpa in heaven. They missed you very much and we miss you here now. She said, "You will always be in our hearts and I promise you that." German police have confirmed that among the 5 who have died, one was aged 45, one was aged 52, one was aged 67, and another aged 75. One of the colleagues that worked with Andre's mum has said that he was really looking forward to Christmas, but now he won't ever be able to open his Christmas presents. We know that they are holding a suspect by the name of Talib A. This hasn't yet been confirmed by German authorities, but this is the name that the German media has been printing out there. And so we are learning more about him and his possible motives by the day. So as I get more information on that, I will of course keep you posted.
Yeah, the German authorities, the German police force, the German government, they have a lot to answer for. German Christmas market suspect was quizzed in 2013 after suggesting he would commit an atrocity, one of the many threats dismissed by the police. And back in 2013, he was in a dispute over his qualifications with a medical association, and he made a threat phone call in 2013, 2 days after the Islamist Boston Marathon bombings, which killed 3 people. He apparently alluded to doing similar. His apartment was raided, but he escaped with a fine, after investigators found no evidence of perpetrations for an assault. How are you not being watched? Because it says in a later string of embarrassing revelations, the authorities had warnings about the suspect and his erratic behaviour. I don't understand it. I just don't get it. In 2014, he came to their attention again over his demands for financial support in Strasland, where he lived and trained. It doesn't... Oh, mate. There was like the Saudis 3 times, told them 3 times. There was also the post that I've seen on Twitter where someone had messaged the police and they was like, "Here, do a survey. We're busy." And he was already known to them. He was already known to them at that point for the 2013 thing. It honestly, a lot to answer for. And as I said in the previous video, I think it's a big tipping point now in Germany, especially after this bombshell was basically come out.
Death toll of the incident at the German Christmas markets has risen to 5, and apparently there's now more than 200 people reported to be injured. Let me explain. As you probably heard, there was an incident at a Christmas markets in Magdeburg near Berlin in Germany. A middle-aged Saudi Arabian man drove through a crowd at speed in his car. And according to reports, after police got to the car, they found something that they suspected was an explosive device. So far, I haven't heard anything further about that. Now, there's been this absolutely massive outpour of support from the public in Magdeburg. Flowers, candles, and other gifts have been laid around where it first happened. Many people are going over there to pay their respect. Obviously, last night when it was first reported, it was reported that only 2 people had sadly passed away. Around 60 to 80 people were injured, and obviously that sounds bad enough, but it's actually a lot worse than people first thought. Apparently, one of the people that sadly lost their lives was a small child. So far, I don't think any of the victims' names have actually been revealed yet, but apparently there is 40 other people who are injured, but those injuries are very serious injuries. The German Chancellor, Olaf Scholz, has said that those people are that seriously injured, people should worry about them. But my thoughts and prayers are with everybody affected by this tragedy. Hopefully those that are injured manage to recover soon. Obviously, as more information comes out about this, I'll keep you updated, so make sure you follow him for all the latest.